My boyfriend's childhood friend praises herself every day as the bravest little lamb. When making a payment to the supplier, she entered the wrong password multiple times, resulting in the company account being frozen. She cheerfully praised herself, even though it was my mistake. I only got 2 digits wrong. I am the best little lamb. Sent the wrong design to the printing press, and 3 million worth of goods were directly scrapped. She proudly clenched her fist. Although we all have to work overtime to fix it, I'm still the most amazing little lamb. I've mentioned it to my boyfriend a few times. He said that failure is the mother of success, and she will always improve, until the company entertained a major client, and she secretly changed the menu. She ordered a bunch of childish dishes like mango shaved ice, caramel milk pudding, and condensed milk buns. It was too shabby for business entertainment, so I directly switched back to the previous menu. And we successfully secured the $50 million order. I never expected that after the dinner, she would burst into tears and throw herself into her boyfriend's arms. I ordered the dishes all by myself, all alone. I'm the bravest little lamb. Why did they change the dishes I ordered? Why did they steal the little lamb's hard work? Lamb good, people bad. My boyfriend wanted to promote her to director as compensation, and I firmly disagreed. His childhood friend ran off crying to drown her sorrows, was insulted by others, couldn't bear the shock, and jumped to her death. My boyfriend blamed everything on me. On my birthday, he had me tied to a chair and sneered, "You're the one who harmed her, you should be buried with her." My boyfriend force-fed me enough food for 20 people, and I died from overeating. When I opened my eyes again, I had returned to the day I took a client out for a meal. This time, let the brave little lamb show what she can do. Sister Jenny, I'll go to the ST banquet first to keep an eye on the private room. You can join me once you're done. Anna's sweet voice rang out at the door. I stiffly raised my head and looked at the innocent face at the door. I truly realized that I had been reborn. In my previous life, it was this very dinner reception for Mr. James, the head of our tea group. Anna replaced the menu I had prepared with childish dishes like mango shaved ice, caramel milk pudding, and condensed milk buns. I couldn't stand it any longer and urgently contacted the restaurant manager to switch the menu back to a proper business banquet standard. The 50 million yuan order was successfully secured, and the entire company was overjoyed, but Anna tearfully accused me of stealing credit. Charles was heartbroken and immediately wanted to promote her to project director as compensation. How could I possibly agree? Anna has been with the company for a year. Transferring funds to a supplier with the wrong password froze the company's account. Sending the wrong blueprints to the printing factory resulted in scrapping 3 million worth of goods. Which of these isn't a catastrophic disaster? Every time she causes a major disaster, she just proudly clenches her fist and praises herself as the bravest little lamb, the best little lamb. And Charles would only smile and say that failure is the mother of success, and Anna would always make progress. With someone like that as the director, the company is not far from bankruptcy. That was the result of 8 years of hard work between me and Charles, and I couldn't just stand by and watch it be destroyed. Anna felt wronged and went out to drown her sorrows, only to be insulted by a few thugs. Unable to bear the shock, she jumped off a building. After learning the news, Charles didn't utter a single word of anger toward me. In fact, he became even more considerate than usual. I thought that our 10 years of shared feelings were ultimately different. When we started our business, we survived on instant noodles together and squeezed into a 10-square-meter basement. After the company gained fame, we even appeared in magazines together. We have weathered so many storms side by side, until my birthday. He said he had a surprise for me. As it turned out, the surprise was several bodyguards tightly binding me to a chair, his eyes bloodshot. He roared at me with a ferocious expression, "Jenny, it's all your fault. If you hadn't stopped Anna from becoming the director, how could she have died? You're just jealous of her, afraid she'll take your place. You poisonous woman, you owe her, and you should go down and be buried with her." Then, with a smile, he personally stuffed 20 portions of food into my mouth. The excruciating pain of my stomach being stretched to the point of rupture is still etched in my soul to this day. At this thought, my knuckles gripping the phone turned white from the force. "Jenny, I'm going to the airport to pick up Mr. James, and I'll drop Anna off on the way." Charles's voice interrupted my train of thought. He walked to the door and very naturally wrapped his arm around Anna's shoulder. "You should leave early for the ST banquet. Mr. James really likes you, so don't be late." Anna leaned against Charles and made a face at me, a hint of provocation in her eyes. "That's right, Sister Jenny. If you're late, you're a puppy. Charles and I are heading out first." Charles smiled and took her hand from his shoulder, his movements natural and intimate. In my past life, I must have been truly blind to mistake such blatant flirting for so-called sibling affection. I suppressed the surging hatred in my heart, raised my eyes, and smiled at the two of them. All right, you two go ahead, be careful on the way. Since Charles is willing to risk his entire company to play house with his childhood sweetheart, how could I not let them have their fun? I did a simple styling downstairs and arrived at the hotel half an hour early. The private room at St. Banquet Hall was resplendent and majestic, exuding an air of prestige. Thinking about how this place would soon be filled with those children's dishes, I couldn't help but want to laugh. Not long after, Charles arrived, accompanying Mr. James from RT Group. I immediately greeted with a smile, "Mr. James, you must be tired from the journey." After a round of flawless pleasantries, the sincerity in Mr. James's smile deepened. Just then, the private room door was abruptly pushed open. Anna, holding 2 bags of potato chips in her arms, rushed straight in. The sound of crunch, crunch, chewing could still be heard from her mouth. The private room fell silent in an instant. Mr. James's brow furrowed almost imperceptibly. Anna's outfit today could be described as shockingly outrageous, with exaggerated pink eyeshadow and a massive matching bow pinned in her hair. The ripped jeans were so tattered they were almost in shreds, and on her feet, she wore a pair of sandals with her toes poking out. The single shoulder bag she carried, adorned with various blind box figurines, jingled noisily with her every movement, sounding particularly jarring in this elegant private room. In my previous life, I had suppressed my anger and forced her to change into formal attire, and for that, she had lodged a serious complaint against me with Charles. This time around, I couldn't be bothered to deal with her anymore. "Mr. James, hello, I'm Anna." Anna extended her hand casually, with a few crumbs of potato chips still clinging to the corner of her mouth. Mr. James's gaze lingered on her for 2 seconds, his brow furrowing more and more tightly, and he did not reach out his hand. The atmosphere became somewhat awkward for a moment. Charles quickly stepped in to smooth things over. "Mr. James, this is my assistant, Anna. She's young and a bit lively." Mr. James finally let out an "oh," and politely touched Anna's fingertips, which counted as a handshake. He casually offered a perfunctory remark, "The young lady looks quite good." Anna immediately straightened her chest, beaming with pride. "Mr. James, you really have an eye for talent. I am the best little lamb." "Little lamb?" Mr. James was taken aback, his face filled with confusion. "Mr. Charles, this young lady, is her surname Young?" He clearly didn't understand this Chinibu-style self-introduction. Charles's face instantly flushed red, and he quickly changed the subject. "Ahem, that's her nickname, Mr. James. Let's take our seats quickly, no need to keep standing." Watching Charles's flustered expression, I felt a surge of satisfaction. I deliberately chatted a bit more with Mr. James about recent industry trends, leisurely walking behind. Sure enough, Anna, being impatient, hopped ahead eagerly, taking the lead. He plopped right down in the main seat facing the door. She really didn't see herself as an outsider, patting the chair beside her with ease, and calling out, "Come on, everyone, have a seat, don't be shy." I raised an eyebrow. That was the main seat reserved for Mr. James. I caught a glimpse of Charles's furrowed brows. About to speak, I immediately spoke up before he could, my tone serious. "Anna, that seat is reserved for Director James. Please find another spot." Anna usually hates it when I give her orders. If Charles had spoken, she might have listened. Just as I expected, Anna's rebellious streak flared up instantly. She pouted with a look of grievance, her eyes pleading as she turned to Charles. "Brother Charles, the air conditioning is strongest here, it's nice and cool, I just want to sit here." Charles, after all, still knew how to read the room and pretended to put on a stern face. "Anna, be good, Mr. James is an honored guest, quickly give up your seat for him." The voice was light, carrying not a hint of reproach. Mr. James, ever the shrewd one, chuckled and said, "Ah, it's fine, it's fine, young people these days don't stand on ceremony. Let the young lady sit wherever she likes. It's better to be casual." That's what he said, but his smile didn't reach his eyes at all. Upon hearing Mr. James's polite words, Anna immediately took them seriously, feeling quite pleased. "If Mr. James says so, then I won't stand on ceremony." She even stuck her tongue out at Charles, looking quite charming. Charles's eyes were full of affection as he shook his head helplessly. "You, hurry up and thank Mr. James." "Thank you, Mr. James." Mr. James forced a smile and waved his hand. "No problem." "No problem." He casually found a seat and sat down, his movements carrying a hint of barely noticeable stiffness. I sneered inwardly, thinking Charles's brain must have really been kicked by a donkey. With just a polite remark from someone else, he actually dared to climb the ladder and let Anna take the main seat. In my previous life, Anna was forced by me to change clothes and arrived half a step late, so this particular drama didn't play out in this life. She truly keeps surprising me at every turn. Once everyone was seated, Charles signaled to the waiter that they could start serving the dishes. I picked up my water glass, hiding the smile at the corner of my mouth. The show has finally begun. The first course was solemnly served by the waiter, covered with a silver cloche. The waiter lifted the lid, revealing a plate of golden, round, steaming hot items, condensed milk mini buns. Mr. James, who had just picked up his chopsticks, paused. The smile on Charles's face also froze for a moment, and he immediately tried to smooth things over. Just appetizers, Mr. James. The main dishes are still to come. Immediately after, the second dish, the third dish, Coca-Cola chicken wings, French fries, candied sweet potatoes, pine nut corn. Dish after dish of sweet and fragrant children's food was continuously brought to the table. Mr. James's expression visibly darkened at a noticeable pace. He leaned back in his chair, folded his hands in front of him, and never touched his chopsticks again. Charles's temples were already beaded with cold sweat. He finally sensed that something was amiss. He called out to the waiter, "What's the next dish?" The waiter respectfully replied, "Sir, there's one more dessert, mango shaved ice. Would you like it served now?" "What?" Charles's voice changed pitch. He glanced nervously at the stern-faced Mr. James and immediately stood up. "Wrong, there must be a mistake. I'll go find their manager right away." With that, he lifted his foot and was about to head out. "There's no mistake," Anna said with an innocent look, as if seeking praise. "Brother Charles, I've changed the menu." She turned to Mr. James with pride, her voice full of anticipation. "Mr. James, these are all my favorite dishes. I specifically ordered them to share with you. In my previous life, I changed the menu before the dishes were served, so I never got to see this foolish side of her. I've seen it all in this lifetime. It's enough to make you laugh in frustration. She probably thinks she's breaking the mold and being innovative. She assumed that someone like Mr. James, who is used to delicacies, would be delighted to try such a small sweet treat, but she has no idea that at this level of business entertainment, it's never about the food. A multi-million-dollar cooperation deal isn't about the abalone, sea cucumber, shark fin, and fish maw, but they must be served at the table. This demonstrates respect for the client and showcases the company's strength and reputation. With her limited brain capacity, she probably couldn't figure it out even if she spent 2 lifetimes thinking about it. Charles wasn't truly foolish. He knew exactly how much trouble Anna had caused. He turned around and glared at her fiercely. "Anna, stop messing around." Anna was startled by his shout, instantly pouting and feeling extremely wronged. Mr. James's expression was extremely unpleasant, and the secretary beside him couldn't hold back any longer. Slamming his chopsticks heavily on the table, he stood up, staring coldly at Charles. "Mr. Charles, is this how your company treats its guests? Using these childish things to entertain our Mr. James?" He glanced around at the dishes on the table and let out a scornful laugh. "Does this entire table of food even add up to 300 yuan? What, is your company going bankrupt tomorrow?" The secretary by Mr. James's side has been with him for no less than 5 years, and it wouldn't be an exaggeration to say he is Mr. James's mouthpiece. Those words that Mr. James finds inconvenient to say have always been spoken on his behalf. Charles clearly understood this principle as well. Seeing Mr. James sitting firmly in place, allowing his secretary to make the accusations, the message couldn't be clearer. He stood up and repeatedly bowed toward Mr. James. "Mr. James, it's a misunderstanding. This is absolutely a misunderstanding. Anna just joined the company. She's young and doesn't know the rules. Please be magnanimous and don't take it to heart. Our budget is very sufficient, and our sincerity is absolutely genuine. I'll make new arrangements right away." The secretary sneered, pressing forward step by step. "Newcomer, Mr. Charles, is this your company's sincerity, letting a newcomer take the main seat, or is it that your company can't find a second person who can hold their own?" Upon hearing that the remark was directed at her, Anna immediately straightened her back in defiance. "What's wrong with being a newcomer? I'm the bravest little lamb." As soon as the words were spoken, the private room fell into a dead silence. I nearly spat out the tea in my mouth. Brave little lamb. Anna's brain must have really gone haywire. Usually, No one bothers her when she gets carried away at the company. How dare she act so crazy in front of outsiders? Does she think a business dinner is some kind of game, Mr. James choked on his words, his face turning darker than the bottom of a pot. The secretary's expression was even more dramatic. It took him a long moment to find his voice again. He laughed in anger. The bravest, little lamb, Mr. Charles, are you out of your mind, bringing a green young girl to such an occasion? Are you looking down on our Mr. James, or are you looking down on our entire RT group? Looking down on RT? That's a heavy accusation indeed. RT is the industry leader, and countless people are scrambling to get their orders. The opportunity to sit at the same table and have a meal with Mr. James is even more priceless. If it weren't for my second uncle acting as the intermediary, Charles wouldn't even have the qualification to meet Mr. James. Charles was truly panicked now. He turned around and growled at Anna in a low voice, "Shut up, no more talking." After shouting, he turned to Mr. James, bending his waist almost to a 90-degree angle. "Mr. James, all the mistakes are ours. It was my poor arrangement. I'll have them change the dishes right away. Please, give us another chance." As he spoke, he frantically winked at Anna. "Anna, quick, bring out Master Lee's purple clay teapot." Anna was startled by his shout, looking utterly bewildered. "What, the purple clay teapot, the one I told you to bring? Hurry up." Anna's eyes darted away, and she muttered reluctantly in a low voice, But didn't they say we should send it after the project is settled? Now, it's all for Director James. Whether we send it early or late makes no difference." Charles had already lost his patience. "Bring it over quickly." Anna slowly took out an exquisite wooden box from the bag beside her. Charles forced a bright smile on his face. "President James, this is a handcrafted work by the Republic of China-era purple clay master Lucas. I heard you have a refined taste for this, so I went through several layers of connections and spent 500,000 to acquire it. Please, take a look and appreciate it." Upon hearing the name Lucas, Mr. James's expression finally softened slightly. Lucas's purple clay teapots are extremely rare, and each one is worth a fortune. If it's genuine, this gift can indeed be considered thoughtful. Anna walked over holding the gift box, each step feeling unusually heavy. The gift box was made of rosewood, exquisitely carved, clearly of great value at first glance. Charles was still chattering away beside her, boasting, "The clay used for this teapot is top-grade vermilion clay, and the design carved on its body depicts a fisherman angling." With delicate brushstrokes and a profound, serene atmosphere, he had everyone's appetite whetted. Even I feigned a bit of curiosity. I looked at that familiar box, unable to suppress the curve of my lips any longer. I knew exactly what kind of treasure was inside. I gave Anna a meaningful glance. What is meant to come will always come, and there is no escaping it. Under the expectant gazes of everyone, Charles eagerly opened the clasp of the wooden box. In the next second, everyone in the private room widened their eyes in astonishment. As the box opened, a pink, grinning Labubu slowly appeared inside. It lay quietly in the silk groove custom-made for the purple clay teapot, looking out of place. The air froze. The smile on Charles's face froze at the corner of his mouth. Mr. James's face, which had just softened, instantly turned ashen. He gritted his teeth and spat out 2 words, "Bad luck," before turning and walking away. "Mr. James." Charles was so frightened that his soul nearly left his body, and he rushed forward in a single stride to stop him. "It's a misunderstanding. This is a misunderstanding. It must have been taken by mistake." The veins on his forehead bulged as he glared fiercely at Anna. "Where is the purple clay teapot? Where is the purple clay teapot I asked you to bring?" Anna shrank back, frightened by his fierce expression. "Brother Charles, I'm sorry. I accidentally broke the purple clay teapot." Charles was struck as if by lightning, completely stunned. Anna continued to seek praise, holding up the pink plush toy. "But I put my favorite Labubu inside. Brother Charles, look, am I not a very capable little lamb?" Charles grabbed Anna's wrist, his voice trembling. "When did it break? Why didn't you tell me? It was just yesterday." "I didn't have time to say it yet," Anna pouted, speaking with conviction. "I tried really hard too. I immediately bought an identical one online. But the delivery was a bit slow. Then it occurred to me that Labubu is also really popular lately, so I put it in instead. Mr. James is sure to like it too." Charles was so angry he nearly fainted. "That's a 500,000 yuan purple clay teapot. How much does a plastic doll cost?" "Anna, are you out of your mind? Why are you yelling at me?" Anna's tears fell like broken strings of pearls. "I didn't mean to break it. I'm trying my best to figure out a solution, aren't I?" "Why are you yelling at a cute little lamb?" seeing her tearful, pitiful appearance. Charles's raging anger instantly subsided by more than half. A flicker of struggle crossed his face before his voice finally softened. All right. Anna, don't cry, I'm not scolding you, I was just too anxious. The two of them stood there in the center of the private room, one sobbing, the other flustered and trying to comfort her, completely lost in their own little world. What a show. In my previous life, it was only after I brought out the purple clay teapot my father had collected that I managed to calm Mr. James down. This time, I won't interfere. Mr. James and his secretary beside them were completely dumbfounded. They were here to discuss business, not to watch a romantic drama. Mr. James's patience had run out. He shot a disgusted glance at the couple and turned to stride toward the elevator. Charles was anxious, but after glancing at Anna, who was crying so hard she could barely catch her breath, he couldn't bring himself to move. He was so frantic that sweat beaded on his forehead, and in the end, he turned his pleading gaze toward me. Jenny, you have a good relationship with Director James, quick. Go and calm Director James down, I'll take care of Anna first. I nodded and immediately chased after them. At the last second before the elevator doors closed, I quickly pressed the button and slipped inside. Of course, I will definitely keep Mr. James steady, and I will put my heart into securing the project. However, this business will no longer bear the Charles family name in the future. Mr. James. I smiled apologetically, my tone resolute. Both of them are inexperienced. I apologize for the embarrassment. How about we discuss this deal directly with me? Mr. James glanced at me, his eyes filled with scrutiny and impatience. How do you plan to negotiate? I pressed the button for the first floor of the elevator and smiled. Of course, we'll talk over a meal. Mr. Jenny, the secretary whispered a reminder. If Mr. James doesn't eat within the next hour, he might experience low blood sugar. The implication was clear. They didn't have time to wait for me to start from scratch. Less than an hour. In 10 minutes, the car will arrive at the location, and the dishes will be ready to serve. Mr. James was taken aback, the tension in his jawline easing slightly. He looked me over again, then finally gave a deep nod. Out of respect for your second uncle, I'll give you these 10 minutes. Since I've been given a second chance at life, how can I just sit back and wait for things to happen? Their personal issues are their own business, but the company is also my hard work, and I can't let them ruin it. While getting my hair and makeup done downstairs at the company in the afternoon, I took the opportunity to call the manager of this hotel, reserved a private room, and ordered the dishes. Although time was tight, fortunately, I have been a regular customer here for years and am considered a top VIP, so I still have some face to spare. The meal was exquisite, with abalone, sea cucumber, shark fin, and fish maw, all prepared to perfection, and 2 bottles of treasured wine were opened. During the meal, I made no mention of the earlier commotion, focusing only on the project's prospects and industry trends. Mr. James is a businessman. What he values is not the 500,000 yuan purple clay teapot, but the sincerity and capability of his partners. The meal was enjoyed by both host and guests, and the details of the contract were mostly finalized. I personally escorted Mr. James and his secretary to their car. Before leaving, Mr. James rolled down the car window, a rare smile appearing on his serious face. Young Mr. Charles is still too inexperienced and lacks patience. Jenny, just based on your ability to remain calm in the face of danger and even prepare a second table of dishes, I feel confident entrusting this project to you. I smiled politely. You flatter me. It's just a habit from years of work. I lowered my gaze, starting over. I've learned my lesson from past mistakes. When I got home, I collapsed onto the sofa and habitually opened my social media feed. 3 hours ago, Anna posted a new update. The photo showed a large table full of dishes: cola chicken wings, French fries, candied sweet potatoes, pine nut corn, all kids' favorites. Aren't these the dishes we ordered in the private room earlier? In one of the pictures, 2 hands arranged French fries on a plate to form the shape of love. The caption reads, "Today, the best Tim is with me, sharing a big table of my favorite dishes. Today is also the best day for this little lamb." The photo doesn't show their faces, but the man next to her is wearing a gray shirt with a golden airplane pin fastened to the collar. It's clearly Charles. Here I am, working hard to salvage the business, while he's over there accompanying Anna, eating a kid's meal and playing at romance. No wonder. Not even a phone call or a text message came to ask. Afraid that eating sweets has turned the brain into a mushy mess, I turned off my phone, my gaze completely turning cold. It seems my plan needs to be accelerated a bit more. The next day at noon, Charles arrived late. He had 2 huge dark circles under his eyes, and his whole body seemed drained of energy, exuding a sense of listlessness. I sneered inwardly, knowing without asking that after treating his little lamb to a kid's meal yesterday, he had stayed up all night playing video games. Indulging in pleasures saps one's ambition. How on earth did I ever fall for such a loser in the past? As soon as he entered the office, he quickly walked over, his tone urgent. "Jenny, how's the project going? What did Mr. James say?" I looked at him calmly. "The project fell through." "What?" His face was filled with shock. "What's going on, Jenny? Isn't Mr. James very close to your second uncle? How come you can't even handle him?" That question was truly laughable. Why doesn't he know? I leaned back in my chair and spoke slowly. "Just because my second uncle is familiar with Mr. James doesn't mean we should get a 50 million contract for free. Companies wanting to cooperate with RT could line up all the way to the HP River. We're not at the point where we have no other choice," I added bluntly. "What's more, Mr. James was genuinely angry yesterday. That meal, he felt we didn't take him seriously at all." Mentioning this, Charles's arrogance deflated by half. He irritably ran his fingers through his hair. "Anna is inexperienced. She still doesn't understand the rules of these business dinners." That excuse again. I almost laughed out loud. Since Anna joined the company, she's been making one mistake after another, messing up everything she touches. Every single time, I've had to step in and clean up her mess. But she always thinks she's the best and the most capable. I say a couple of things to her, and she can slam the folder right on my desk. I've mentioned it to Charles more than once, and he always says we should give Anna a chance to grow. Then, on a whim, he directly transferred her to the CEO's office as an assistant, planning to teach her himself. That's what led to yesterday's shocking menu change. I coolly reminded him, "Anna has been with the company for a year now. What can you learn in a year?" Charles waved his hand impatiently. "It must be that her colleagues are ostracizing her and not teaching her properly." "Teach? How could we not have taught her?" The director of the finance department personally taught her how to attach invoices. But she found him too long-winded and promptly stuffed a stack of important receipts into the shredder. The HR manager introduced her to the company regulations, but she found the rules too rigid. The next day, she showed up for work in a crop top and miniskirt, claiming she wanted to bring some energy to the dull office. Employees in her group complained bitterly and jointly submitted a request to have her transferred. I look at Charles, thinking there's really something wrong with his brain. "Didn't you transfer her to be your assistant and teach her personally?" Charles was choked by my words, coughed twice, and tried to save face. Anna still needs time to grow." I'm too lazy to argue with him about this anymore, so I just threw the question back at him. "Fine, she needs to grow. So how are you going to explain to the shareholders on the board about losing this project?" The anxiety on his face instantly turned into distress. He started pacing back and forth in the office, muttering to himself, "And is still new. If she takes the blame for such a big mistake, she'll definitely be fired." "No, I promised her aunt I'd take good care of her, but if he stopped walking, looking at me with a pained expression. "If I take on this responsibility, my authority as the CEO will be gone. How will I keep those old-timers in line after this?" Look at how that's phrased. He wants to protect his beloved, yet he can't bear to part with his CEO throne. There's no such good deal in the world. I watched him calmly, waiting for what he would say next. Sure enough, he leaned forward, forcing a smile on his face, and tentatively began, "Jenny, you're the company's vice president, the most senior and capable among us. The old-timers on the board trust you the most. How about you take the blame for this one?" Seeing my expressionless face, he quickly made promises. "It's just a demotion, going through the motions for those old-timers to see. I'm still the CEO, and the company's power is still in my hands. Don't worry, at most 6 months, no, 3 months, I'll definitely promote you back." I closed my eyes, suppressing the anger in my heart. He thought I was hesitating and grew even more anxious. "Don't worry about the salary. I'll secretly make up the difference from my own CEO pay to ensure your quality of life doesn't drop at all." What a huge joke. Is this about money? This is my reputation, my career, my 10 years of hard work, in his words, is only worth his measly salary. His childhood sweetheart made a huge mistake, and I can understand why he can't bear to let her go, but why should I bear the consequences of Anna's mistake? A surge of rage shot from the soles of my feet straight to the top of my head, burning so fiercely that my temples throbbed. I forced that fire down, digging my nails deep into my palms, using the pain to maintain a facade of calm. the timing wasn't right, I couldn't afford to turn hostile now. It wasn't yet the moment to tear off the mask. I looked up, my voice gentle. Really? Of course it's true. A smile immediately spread across his face. Jenny, we've been together for so many years. When have I ever lied to you? All right, I'll listen to you. Charles breathed a sigh of relief, reached out to pull me into his arms, and whispered intimately in my ear, Jenny, so good. The familiar woody scent of his perfume today only felt overwhelming. I obediently pressed against his chest, letting him hold me tightly, suppressing the coldness at the corner of my mouth. Charles, I was originally planning to leave you some dignity, since you're so eager to court death. Don't blame me. Early the next morning, the company's shareholders' meeting was held as scheduled. The meeting started at 9 o'clock, and I arrived 10 minutes early. In the conference room, several key shareholders had already taken their seats. At 9:05, the main seat was still empty. President Leo, sitting across from me, glanced at his wristwatch. Where is President Charles? How can he be late for such an important meeting? A shareholder nearby lowered his voice. He might be busy with the RT matter. Securing RT would bring us one step closer to going public. Someone immediately added, Old Duncan, your information is outdated, isn't it? I heard that the RT project has fallen through. What? A single stone stirred up 1,000 waves, and the conference room instantly buzzed with noise. A 50 million yuan collaboration, just gone like that. Who did it? Whoever messed up such a major collaboration has to get out of here. Amid the discussions, the door to the conference room was pushed open. Charles and Anna walked in, chatting and laughing. Anna was dressed even more outrageously today, wearing a pair of jeans with 8 large holes in them. She wore a t-shirt so short it barely covered her navel, causing several senior shareholders to frown. Mr. Leo's face darkened. Mr. Charles, this is a shareholders' meeting. What on earth is the person next to you wearing? Anna, being singled out, playfully twirled around instead, showing off the holes in her pants. Mr. Leo, it's your thinking that's too old-fashioned. This is called fashion. What does it matter what you wear for a meeting? How dare you, Mr. Leo slammed the table abruptly. Anna, take a good look at where you are. You're just Assistant Charles's aide. You have no right to be here, let alone speak. Anna looked at Charles with a pitiful expression. Charles stepped forward, shielding Anna behind him. Manager Leo, Anna is not an ordinary assistant. I don't care if she's ordinary or not. Mr. Leo has a fiery temper that ignites at the slightest spark. An assistant is just an assistant. Look around. Who here brings their assistant to a shareholders' meeting? Mr. Charles, are you making an exception for yourself? These few words left Charles's face alternating between red and white. Anna bit her lip, standing at the doorway unsure whether to enter or retreat, feeling utterly embarrassed. I stood up at the right moment. Mr. Leo, please calm down first. I stood up and looked around. Today is a special situation. For the RT project, Anna is one of the main contacts. Having her stay will also make it easier for us to understand the project details later. My words were perfectly reasonable. And several shareholders who had initially looked displeased immediately nodded in agreement. President Jenny is right. All right, then we'll follow Manager Jenny's lead. Charles immediately cast a grateful look my way. Jenny, thank you, you're so kind. I responded with a gentle smile. No need to thank me. I kept her here to make sure she understands exactly how she's going to meet her end. At 9:20, the meeting officially began. Charles cleared his throat and reported on several routine matters in a formal, bureaucratic manner. The people below clearly had little patience, and one shareholder directly interrupted him. Mr. Charles, skip the useless talk. How is the cooperation with RT going? As soon as this question was raised, everyone perked up their ears. Charles's expression grew heavy, and he paused for a moment, as if gathering his emotions. Everyone, he said in a sorrowful voice, we failed to secure the RT project this time. The meeting room instantly erupted in chaos. What's going on? Wasn't everything going smoothly before? A 50 million yuan partnership, just gone like that. Mr. Charles, you must give us an explanation. Charles raised his hand and pressed it downward, signaling for everyone to quiet down. His gaze fell directly on me. The failure of this collaboration carries significant responsibility. Vice President Jenny will bear full responsibility. As the words fell, the noisy conference room instantly fell into a dead silence. All eyes shifted in unison from Charles to me. I stood up directly. I object. Charles looked at me in astonishment. Jenny, didn't we agree? What exactly was agreed upon? I coldly interrupted him. Mr. Charles, the company's interests come above all else. Jenny, will not shield anyone, nor will I take the blame for something that isn't mine. After saying this, I walked straight to the podium, took a USB drive from my bag, and inserted it into the computer. As for who the real person responsible is, I have evidence. Charles's face turned pale, and I directly pressed the play button. In the next second, the scene from the hotel private room yesterday appeared on the projection screen. In the video, it showed how Anna recklessly took the main seat, and how she arbitrarily changed the carefully prepared menu for the client. Even her foolish admission of accidentally breaking the purple clay teapot and replacing it with a labubu was recorded clearly. Watching Anna's unprofessional behavior, the faces of most shareholders darkened. Is this how you go to discuss a partnership? This is simply outrageous. It's like dancing on the client's landmines over and over again. President James not cursing on the spot is already giving us face. The video on the projector continued playing, showing President James storming off in anger, while Charles was gently comforting the sobbing Anna. At that moment, the shareholders completely erupted. Mr. Charles, am I seeing this right? The client has left, and instead of chasing after them, you're over there comforting your assistant. Is a 50 million yuan project more important, or is your little assistant more important? Can't you tell what's more urgent, Mr. Charles? Your assistant really knows how to cause trouble, doesn't she? What kind of person is this? What kind of people is HR hiring? Investigate. We must investigate thoroughly, Mr. Charles. The RT project is crucial to whether the company can go public. How could it just be messed up like that? You must give us an explanation. Charles pursed his lips tightly, saying nothing. Behind him, Anna trembled as she defended herself. I also wanted to work hard to secure the project. I tried my best too. It would have been better if she hadn't said anything. But as soon as she did, a shareholder in the corner let out a scornful laugh. Working hard to ruin a $50 million project. What an idiot. The video continued, and Charles grabbed my hand tightly. He gritted his teeth and spat out a few words. Jenny, don't go too far. Anna is still young. She can't bear such a heavy responsibility. Are you really determined to ruin her? If you dare not do as we agreed yesterday, it's over between us. He stared intently into my eyes. He thought I would still panic over a breakup like I used to. I never expected I would actually laugh. Slap. I turned my hand and slapped him across the face. Then let's break up. I'm the one dumping you, Charles. Charles covered his face, completely stunned. He stood there in silence, speechless. I directly picked up the microphone from the podium. Dear shareholders, given that Mr. Charles has failed to separate public and private matters, practiced favoritism in appointments, and his actions have severely impacted the company's normal operations, resulting in significant losses, I hereby formally propose the removal of his position as president. Charles panicked. Everyone, believe me, I will definitely do better in the future, and I will definitely separate public and private matters clearly. Please give me another chance. Another chance. I chuckled softly and added slowly, by the way, I forgot to share some good news with everyone. After the dinner the day before yesterday, I privately contacted Mr. James again. Through my relentless efforts, Mr. James has agreed to cooperate. However, Mr. James's contract is signed with me, Jenny. It wasn't signed with Mr. Charles. At this point, even the few shareholders who were originally hesitant had a change in their expressions. Everyone exchanged a few glances, and they all understood what was going on. Jenny, are you messing with me? Charles finally realized what was happening, trembling with anger. I'm not messing with you. I spread my hands. The project was indeed messed up by Anna, and I had to put in a lot of effort to salvage it. Charles was completely panicked. He rushed off the stage like a headless fly, grabbing the arm of the nearest Mr. Lee. Old Lee, have you forgotten? I was the one who promoted you to this position. Chairman Lee awkwardly withdrew his hand and silently moved his chair back half a meter. He then lunged toward General Manager Duncan. Old Duncan, we've known each other for 6 years, 6 years of friendship. General Manager Duncan stared at the cup in front of him, not even lifting an eyelid. Nathan, I mentored you when you first joined the company. Surely you wouldn't choose Jenny, right? The young man who was called out blushed, his head almost buried under the table. After a round of begging and pleading, no one paid him any attention. Charles finally realized that the tide had turned. He broke down, pushing Anna, who was beside him, forward and pointing at her while shouting, "It's all her. This is all Anna's doing. She's the fool. She acted on her own. That's why things turned out like this. If you want to punish someone, punish her. Why dismiss me?" Anna stumbled from his push, fell to the ground, and looked at the man who had just been standing up for her in disbelief. In the conference room, everyone wore expressions of disdain. Mr. Charles, I looked down at him from above. Anna is your assistant. It was you who placed her into such an important project. To say you lack judgment in recognizing people and are negligent in employing them is putting it lightly. The mistake she made, she can't escape from it. And as her superior, you should be even more responsible. Anna's face was covered in tears. Brother Charles, how can you say that about me? I was only trying to help you. Get out, Charles roared, pointing at Anna. Get out, you idiot, you've cost me the chance to become the CEO. Anna pouted in grievance. I was just trying to help you. I tried my best. I'm a really capable little sheep. Shut up. Charles raised his hand and slapped her. To hell with your little sheep. That slap completely stunned Anna. She screamed, scrambling up from the ground like a madwoman, lunging at Charles and grabbing his meticulously styled hair. Charles, you useless piece of trash, you couldn't beat Jenny yourself, why take it out on me? If you have the guts, go get the project back, you spineless coward, serves you right for being dumped. The two instantly started fighting, one pulling hair, the other tearing clothes, while hurling all sorts of obscenities at each other. Making the scene extremely ugly, I took 2 steps back to avoid the commotion and quickly called security in. Soon, for security guards escorted them out, the world finally fell silent. The vote proceeded normally, without any objections, and Charles was removed from his position, and I, Jenny, am the new president. Later, Anna was dismissed, and apart from receiving dividends, Charles no longer held any position in the company. With those 2 deadweights gone, the company's performance soared all the way. By next spring, we can officially submit the listing application. As for Charles, having been the CEO for so long, he probably forgot how ordinary people live, unable to aim high or settle for low. He changed several jobs but was never satisfied, and eventually, there was no news of him at all, until one autumn evening, when I went downstairs to take out the trash. I was stopped in my tracks by a dark figure. The man had a scruffy beard, wore an ill-fitting old-style coat, and carried an air of lingering despondency. It was Charles. Jenny, I was wrong, I was truly wrong. Please help me. I want to return to the company, for the sake of our past relationship. You can't be so heartless. I watched him with great interest. Do we still have any affection left? He nodded frantically. Yes, of course, we were in love for 10 years. I'll never pay attention to Anna again. I'll listen to everything you say, Jenny. Can we get back together? His knees went weak, and he actually knelt straight down. I let out a cold snort. Charles, we've already broken up. Have you forgotten? He froze, clearly not expecting me to address him that way. When we were in a relationship, I never called him by his full name. Now you come looking for me. What makes you think I would stoop to pick up the trash I already threw away? I turned and went upstairs, not wanting to say another word to him. After going upstairs, I saw him slumped on the floor, crying his heart out like a stray dog. That was the last time he ever appeared before me. Later, I heard from a friend that he went overseas to seek opportunities, and no one ever saw him again. As for Anna, a while ago, my assistant Chen was browsing a gossip forum and suddenly exclaimed, handing me his phone, "Boss, look at this. Is that her?" It was a blurry screenshot from the cover of a video leaked from some Thai dark web, showing a heavily made-up woman smiling obsequiously at the camera. There is indeed a hint of Anna in the eyes and brows. Whether it's true or false, no one cares anymore. I returned the phone to Chen and casually opened the quarterly financial report on the table. A CEO's day is indeed a busy one. After hearing the first story above, what are your thoughts? Feel free to share your opinions in the comments section. Next, there is another similar story. Let's continue to see. I am a pocket-sized person, born short in stature, yet this has earned me the affection of countless netizens. My best friend looked at my sports car and said with a hint of envy, "If it weren't for people's curiosity, you would never have become popular." I went along with her words, saying, "You're right, if you had this body of mine, you'd definitely be even more popular than I am." Seeing the growing brightness in her eyes, I knew the comments were right. It's time to change, it's time to change. If the female lead switches into a miniature person's body, the male lead will definitely still recognize her. What a beautiful love story this is. Watch as the strong female lead builds her career after becoming a miniature person. At the same time, I can also sense my best friend's desire to switch bodies. After I said that, the number turned to 100%. I could hardly believe my luck, getting a healthy body for free. I'd even be willing to eat seafood and run 80 meters for it. Faith, is this the sports car you bought? It doesn't look all that impressive. When my best friend said this, she was practically leaning into my car window. I was holding the car keys. It's not that great, just 3 million. Oh, I see. I thought it was over 10 million, no offense, but as a big influencer, why are you driving such a shabby car? I saw someone else, with fewer followers than you, driving a more expensive one. Isn't this just the first step? I'll buy others later. A flicker of envy flashed in her best friend's eyes as she smoothed her hair. That's true, you can't drive anyway, so buying such a nice car wouldn't be of much use. I'll hire a driver. She got excited, but isn't buying a car meant for driving? The thrill of driving is something a passenger can never fully experience. Faith, you have no idea how exhilarating it was the first time I drove. In the end, she felt sorry for me. What a shame, Faith. You'll never get to experience it in your lifetime. She was right. I am a person of short stature. I was 1.3 meters tall at 10 years old, and I still am at 20. I was born short, so there are some things I'm simply not meant to do. For example, the kind of driving she described, which brings immense pleasure, but that doesn't mean I can't do anything at all. When I was a child, my mother would often worry about me, fearing that I would be bullied when I grew up. Unable to find a job or support myself, but she never expected that the internet would give me a chance. At the age of 18, a short video I casually filmed garnered over 1 million likes, and an MCN agency approached me, leading me into the world of self-media. Over the years, I've filmed short videos, done live streams, and in just a few years, I've accumulated substantial wealth. A sports car, to me, is nothing at all, but for my best friend, it's something she can only dream of but never attain. Originally, I had no intention of buying a sports car. A car is just a means of transportation. To me, there's no difference between a car worth 100,000 and one worth a few million. Besides, I don't know how to drive, and hiring a driver just for a car would be somewhat troublesome. My best friend often comforts me. It's fine, Faith. I think it's great that you're living a simple and frugal life like this, staying true to your roots. I look down on those who spend money like water. They're all evil capitalists. Later, I found out that she presented a completely different image in front of others. You mean Faith? Don't be fooled by her large number of followers now. Most of them are bought. She doesn't make much money. Otherwise, why wouldn't she buy a car or a house? And still wear off-brand clothes. She is indeed very hardworking, but there's no way around it. If you can't make money, you just can't. Even though she uses her physical disability to gain attention, not many people are willing to spend money on her. If you ask me, a woman still needs to marry into a good family. She was already unmarriageable, and now that she's out in public every day, she'll be even less likely to find a husband. I don't know why. But seeing these chat logs between her and others didn't make me feel too sad. Maybe I'd already sensed that she didn't truly consider me a friend. It was just that she felt superior to me, so she had to keep me around as a friend. In high school, I hadn't yet been exposed to the internet. Because of my physical defect, I was often pelted with paper balls, and many people called me a monster. When walking down the street, I didn't dare to lift my eyes. No one talks to me so naturally. No one becomes my friend. Just then, my best friend took the initiative to approach me. While comforting me that my physical disability wasn't my fault, she imitated my clumsy walking posture in front of her other friends. When I saw it, she explained that she just thought I looked cute and couldn't help but imitate me. I believed her explanation, because I couldn't bear to give up this hard-won friendship. But I never expected it to be a landmine buried right beside me. Wow. This sports car is so cool. I can't imagine how awesome the female lead will look when she drives it to win a racing competition in the future. Exactly, that's right, the female supporting character should buy more, so that when the female lead travels through, she can enjoy it directly. Who says I'm a female lead fan? Moi, am I the only one who thinks the female lead's words sound a bit hypocritical now? Wanting to see my best friend embarrassed is the first reason for buying the car. The bullet comments that appear before me are the second reason for buying the car. The comments say this is a body-swapping story, where my best friend is the female lead, and I am the female supporting character. Soon, we will swap bodies. Along with the bullet comments came a string of numbers on my best friend's chest, fluorescent in color. It started at 30%, and after I bought a car, it changed to 50%. I went to the hospital for repeated checkups, and the doctors concluded that there was nothing wrong with me. I had no choice but to start believing the bullet comments. Buying the car further confirmed my suspicion. The string of numbers on my best friend's chest represented her desire to swap bodies with me. Confirming this news made me ecstatic. No one wanted a healthy body more than I did. before I turned 10, my mother would joyfully record my height. After I turned 10, she grew more worried with each passing year. And her white hairs gradually increased. In the end, she believed the scammer's claim that he could make me grow taller and was cheated out of 300,000. On my way home, I saw her body, with police cars buzzing around, a scene I will never forget for the rest of my life. If I weren't a dwarf, my mother wouldn't have jumped to her death. If I weren't a dwarf, I wouldn't have been bullied since childhood, bowing and scraping for the slightest bit of pitying kindness, deceiving myself. Now, at last, there is an opportunity. I can have a healthy body, and I will never let it go. After buying the car, my best friend kept borrowing it from me every other day, and I always lent it to her. She said she was just going out for a drive, but I knew she was lying. She specifically created an account that blocked me, portraying herself as a wealthy heiress. Her latest posts were filled with pictures of my sports car. The comments section was flooded with praise. Damn. She's beautiful and rich. I'm going to sue God and my wallet. How on earth can I earn that much money, sis? I'm a college student, sweet-talking and capable. $3,000 a month. Would you consider keeping me? She picked and chose her replies. First one to reply, ha 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 ha. The second one replied that their family is wealthy, followed by a dog emoji. The third one replied, not considering it. I need to focus on building my career. Her comments sparked another round of praise. Wow, indeed, this kind of aura can only belong to a rich second generation, crying, so wealthy, yet still so hardworking, truly worthy of being an heir to high society. Occasionally, a few people questioned the authenticity of her sports car, but she deleted those comments. I didn't expose her. After all, greed knows no bounds. The more she fakes it, the more she'll believe it's real. One day, she'll grow increasingly unsatisfied. That would be the perfect opportunity for me to take over. Although I want to change bodies, my career cannot stagnate. Even if all of this eventually falls into someone else's hands, the experience and growth are still my own. Recently, the company landed a collaboration with a major brand. I worked day and night on the proposal, and in the end, I helped them sell over $1 billion worth of products during a live stream. They were very satisfied with me and, for the first time ever, invited me to their company cocktail party. Even if I achieve great success in my career, I am rarely invited to such business events. After all, this isn't a live stream where I'm the only one, free to speak as I wish and act as playfully as I like. Viewers watching me through a screen would only see me as optimistic and entertaining, but offline is different. I am short, and years of solo live streaming and moving goods have built up my muscles, making my proportions look extremely disproportionate. Walking down the street without scaring people is already a win, let alone socializing at a cocktail party filled with big shots, but I still accepted their invitation. When my best friend heard I was going to a cocktail party, she enthusiastically helped me pick out an outfit. Come on, Faith, this looks good on you, try it on quickly. In a mall where the average spending per person was tens of thousands, she picked out another knit dress for me, urging me to try it on. The salesperson hesitated to speak, and when I asked her what was wrong, she finally spoke up. Forgive me for being blunt, miss, but your figure is on the sturdier side, which doesn't suit this soft fabric. I could tell she was genuinely considering my best interests. However, my best friend disagreed. Once inside the mall, she truly believed she could afford the clothes there. Upon hearing the salesperson's words, her face immediately fell. What's wrong with you? When we sisters are talking, who are you to interrupt? I think you're just trying to trick Faith into buying expensive clothes. The salesperson's expression changed. Miss, I really didn't mean it that way. I was just speaking from a professional perspective. You still dare to talk back. Where's the store manager here? What's wrong with your staff? They have no manners at all. Seeing her make a scene, the salesperson had no choice but to apologize. I'm sorry, miss, my judgment was mistaken. She looked at me with a smug expression. Faith, look at how bad these people are. If I weren't by your side, you would have been tricked countless times. Go try on this dress. I changed into the dress and came out, only to find that she had changed into one as well. Her figure was originally average, but now she wore a red, stiff material strapless dress that accentuated her tall and slender silhouette, giving her an outstanding presence. Meanwhile, the knit top clung to my small belly and arms, making me look like a ball. She kept praising me. Faith, you look so gentle and ladylike like this. You're sure to shine brightly. I forced a smile. Is that so? Of course. Seeing that I noticed the dress she was wearing, she immediately explained. Faith, I thought that since it's your first time at a cocktail party, you might feel awkward. Having me with you will make it less lonely. Besides, this dress is really uncomfortable to wear. It's too stiff and tight around my chest. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't be wearing it at all." I quietly watched her performance. When it was time to pay, she made no move. Seeing that I only intended to buy my own clothes, she pinched my arm. I feigned surprise. "Oh, this outfit isn't that expensive either. Just around 10,000 yuan, aren't you going to buy it?" Watching the number on her chest rise twice more, I smiled. "Oh, I remember now, you and I are different. Sorry, I always forget you're on a fixed salary, only making about 10,000 a year." Ignoring her extremely embarrassed expression, I still paid for her. Actually, I also wanted her to go with me. After all, I also wanted to see if, after experiencing all these glamorous things, she would still be willing to return to the cramped rental apartment and endure her boss's endless nagging. If there was a chance to become suddenly wealthy right in front of her, how much willpower could she muster to resist it? I'm looking forward to it. In the end, I still went wearing the suit recommended by the salesperson. The dark suit made me look capable, and I put on some makeup, looking completely different from before. My best friend stared wide-eyed and complained, "Faith, why did you still wear this outfit? I already said that knit set looked better." "Oh, that knit set got ruined at the laundry yesterday, so I had to buy this one instead." Seeing me say this without batting an eye, she felt even more pain than I did. After all, that knit dress cost tens of thousands, and the suit the salesperson recommended yesterday was even more expensive, reaching a six-figure price. The number on my chest rose by several digits again, and feeling quite pleased, I walked into the venue with her. As soon as we entered the venue, she excused herself to go to the restroom and left me. I was drinking alone, and by the time I finished the whole bottle, my best friend still hadn't found me. At the entrance of the venue, I saw her walking side by side with a young gentleman, chatting and laughing. At the same time, I received a text message from her. "Faith, I'm so sorry, but my period came, so I went back first." I replied, "It's fine," but in my heart, I was thinking, the fish has taken the bait. Having been in the self-media industry for so many years, I have some understanding of the various scandals and gossip within the field, and that young master is one of them. He enjoys posting flashy videos of his wealth on social media, occasionally speeding in sports cars late at night, sipping 1986 Lafite in a spacious penthouse while admiring the night view, and traveling around the world. But unlike my best friend, the young master is a genuine rich second-generation heir. There's nothing unusual about flaunting wealth. His scandal stems from his private life. I heard he got engaged a few months ago, but he still has a steady stream of girlfriends on the side. This time, it's my best friend's turn. I wonder how long she'll last. It didn't take long before my best friend couldn't wait to post photos of her and the rich second-generation heir on social media. Occasionally, he would leave comments under her posts, and before long, the whole internet knew they were together. I saw my best friend again a month later, and she was completely transformed, carrying a designer handbag, wearing a Chanel coat, and adorned with high-end custom jewelry around her neck. As soon as she arrived, she started talking about her story with the wealthy second-generation heir. "Oh, I'm so sorry I'm late. It's all because of Simon. He insisted on driving me," saying his sports car was fast, but then some careless driver crashed into us, and they got into a big argument. I put down my coffee and said it was fine, then asked, "It's a workday today, did you take time off?" Mentioning this, she became even more smug. "Tisk, I quit my job. Simon said his money is enough for me to spend. With such a small salary, it's not even enough to buy a bag. I've been wanting to quit for a long time." I didn't say anything, and she continued to ramble. "Do you know who Simon is?" "Oh, you probably haven't heard of him. He's the heir to a prominent family. Someone at your level wouldn't have the chance to meet him. I used to think all rich second-generation heirs were arrogant and rude, but he's different. He even said he wants to marry me. You must come to my wedding." Hearing the last sentence, I finally couldn't hold back and burst out laughing. She was baffled. "What are you doing?" "Nothing. Nothing." My best friend said she was getting married, and she really started preparing seriously. She even announced it on her show-off account, writing the wedding date. The rich second generation also responded below, saying, "As promised, I will definitely treat you well." The comments exploded like a boiling pot. "Holy shit, sis, you're amazing. The playboy has settled down." The ultimate union of a rich second generation and a rich second generation. Just like the saying goes, their child will be the master of this skyscraper. Please share the dog training tutorial. this world is just one giant tomato novel, I can tell what's going on with just one glance. It seems the rich second-generation heir thought my best friend was also from a wealthy family, which is why he agreed to marry her. My friend naively believes she's marrying into a rich and powerful family, but in reality, she'll be devoured by his parents until not even her bones are left. The larger the family, the more they emphasize class and marrying within one's social standing. So, when I saw the video of my best friend being exposed online, I wasn't surprised. In the video, the rich second-generation's mother laid out my best friend's life history from childhood. Miss Julia, my son was deceived, and as his mother, I can't just stand by. The sports car you often drive isn't even registered under your name. You don't have a father who runs a company or a mother who works as a jewelry designer abroad. Since it's come to this, Miss Julia, you should know what to do. My best friend trembled. I know it's my fault, but Simon and I truly love each other. Auntie, please, let us be together. The woman sneered and called her son. On the phone, a woman's coquettish laughter was heard first. And then Simon poked his head out from under the covers, his voice hoarse and his body covered in red marks. It was clear what he had just been doing. Miss Julia, I know my son best. You're just a flower he casually picked. Even with the best soil and pot, you're still just a wildflower. My best friend's face turned completely pale. She still wanted to fight for some rights, saying, then I want 5 million. If I get this 5 million, I'll never bother your son again. Miss Julia, I originally wanted to let you go. Unfortunately, you didn't know your place. As the words fell, several burly men stepped forward, and the sound of my best friend's screams followed. The scene shifts again, showing her stripped down to her underwear, screaming, what are you doing, Miss Julia? Everything you're wearing was bought by my son. I'm just taking back what's rightfully mine. The clothes were thrown on the ground, and the woman stomped on them a few times. I hope Miss Julia learns her lesson. The video showed the time this happened, just a few minutes ago. Outside, the rain was pouring down. I knew my chance had come. When I found my best friend, she was trembling in the rain. The headlights of the sports car blinded her eyes. I held an umbrella for her and helped her into the car. She didn't say thank you, nor was she angry. She just stared out the window with a lifeless expression. I quickly drove her to her rented apartment. It was clear that she had been staying at the rich second-generation's place during this time. As dust had settled on the desk in her rented apartment, she was taken aback, as if she didn't recognize this place. I took out a towel to dry her hair. She finally burst into tears. How dare they? Just because they have money, can they do whatever they want? Can they trample on my feelings just because they're rich? What's so great about sports cars, and what's so great about running a company? I don't care for any of it. Yes, I replied, tossing the towel with the Chanel logo into the trash as I agreed with her. She seemed provoked. What do you mean by that? Are you doing this on purpose? Do you think I'm cheap too? You use this towel and then just throw it away. Do you also think I'm just some wildflower or weed? I did it on purpose. Today, I deliberately wore my most expensive outfit, with a watch on my wrist, a necklace around my neck, and rings on my fingers, just in case. I had over 10 of these Chanel scarves prepared in my crocodile leather bag. I didn't. Why would you think that? That's exactly what you think. You think you're so great, but you were nowhere near me in high school. If it weren't for the internet boom and people's curiosity, how could you possibly become popular? How could you afford a sports car and all these luxury items? If I had your body, I'd definitely be rich too. Finally, the thrilling moment finally arrived. I saw the number on her chest skyrocket, 80%, 90%, 98%, 99%, just one last step. I tempted her like a devil, following her words. Yes, if you were my body, you would definitely be hotter than me. The moment the words fell, 100%, and the long unseen barrage of comments appeared once again. It's about to change. It's about to change. If the female lead switches to a dwarf's body, the male lead will definitely still recognize her. What a beautiful love story this is. Watch as the strong female lead builds her career after becoming a dwarf. After a dizzying spin, I fainted on the spot. Waking up again, the rental apartment was empty except for me. The wall-mounted mirror could only reflect half of my figure. I stretched my body, feeling a sense of ease I had never experienced before. I ran downstairs in one breath, covering 80 meters. The world unfolded before my eyes. The buildings no longer seemed so tall. The crowds no longer so dense. Everything within sight was a new world. I finally have a real body of my own. I run freely, full of joy, like a newly sprouted bamboo shoot. When I could control my body with ease, I went to my mother's grave. Her name, Wei Lin, was engraved on the tombstone, and a photo of her with white hair was attached. How I wish she could come back to life and take a look at me. You see, your daughter is so happy now. If there is a next life, you be my daughter. And I will take care of you meticulously, just as you have done for me. The evening wind gnaws at the candle flame, and I bury my head in sorrowful tears. Suddenly, my forehead feels a warmth, like the broad, warm palm of my mother when she used to touch me while she was alive. Mom, you must have heard, haven't you? Your daughter will never be laughed at again. That chart marked with measurements for 10 years can finally be updated. However, by accepting my best friend's body, I have also taken on everything that came with it, a massive amount of debt and a flood of criticism online. I want to make a comeback, but before that, I need to confirm one thing. Ever since I woke up, the phone that my best friend took with her has been unreachable, so I haven't been able to see if the string of numbers is still on her chest. If so, it means she can switch back at any time. I contacted everyone I could reach and finally got in touch with my former assistant. She wasn't very friendly, but out of respect for me as her boss's close friend, she answered all my questions. Is your boss available? I'd like to see her. Oh, then you can contact her directly, but I can't get in touch with her, and I'm really worried about her. She burst out laughing. Then you don't need to worry, our boss is very kind, she might just not want to see you. This was to be expected, after the identity swap. She was worried that I might ask to switch back or make some other unreasonable demands, so naturally, she would run as far away as possible. Seeing she was about to hang up, I had no choice but to say something harsh. Mary, don't you have a younger sister with leukemia? It was your boss who gave you the money to treat her. She was surprised that her boss would share such personal matters. So what? I took a deep breath to calm myself. I was the one who persuaded her to help you. If you don't believe me, hand the phone to her now, and I'll speak to her directly. Mary was half convinced and half doubting, but since it concerned her lifesaver, she still passed the phone over. I lowered my voice, feigning a panicked tone. Julia, what's going on? How am I in your body? Are you in mine? After a long hesitation, a response finally came from the other side. Yes. Thank goodness it's you. If it were someone else, I wouldn't feel at ease. It was clear that Julia seemed to breathe a sigh of relief. You don't blame me? Of course not. I believe you didn't know what was happening. The most important thing now is that we need to meet. Okay. The moment I saw her, I knew it was settled. There were no other marks on her, and there were no other marks on me either. This meant that the string of numbers had disappeared. And no one could swap back according to their own will, not only because of this, but also because of the bullet comments. The bullet comments appear sometimes and not others. Based on the timing of their appearance, I speculate that the plot of our world's development isn't entirely in the novel. The novel only captures a part of it, so, the bullet comments only appear when the novel's plot is unfolding. According to the original text, the female lead Julia is kind-hearted, resilient, and decisive, so her out-of-character side naturally wouldn't appear in the novel. And now, this is our first meeting after swapping, which is a key moment, and sure enough, the bullet comments have appeared again. Ah, they're about to meet. The female lead must be feeling really insecure right now, suddenly transitioning from a healthy body to a disabled one, wrapping herself up so tightly. It really hurts to see. I feel for her too. But the female lead isn't the type to be limited by her figure or appearance. She'll gradually grow and adapt to this new identity in the future. I was wondering, will she ever go back? Is that miniature person the female lead? It feels a bit strange. To the person above, no, she won't. The main theme of this story is about the female lead not giving up in the face of setbacks and finding self-identity. Seeing the last comment, I finally felt at ease. Julia had indeed wrapped herself up tightly. Prada sunglasses, new, Gucci handbag, new, Dior clothing, new, Van Cleef Arpels jewelry, new. In short, she bought herself a full set, living even more comfortably than when she was with the rich second generation, except for one thing. It seemed she hadn't yet adapted to this body, unable to handle the puzzled looks from others or her own legs that couldn't quite reach the ground. So, despite being covered in luxury, she still couldn't hide her awkwardness. I was the first to say sorry. I'm really sorry. This body of mine must be causing you a lot of trouble. Should we hurry and find a way to switch back? She was taken aback, unable to hide her delight. So, you actually don't want this body of yours? Of course not, I replied without a moment's hesitation. This gave her the chance to propose not swapping back. Don't get me wrong, it's not for any other reason. I'm your best friend, so it's only right that I help share your burdens. Since there's no way to swap back right now, let's just leave things as they are for now. Won't that be too much trouble for you? Not at all, not at all, of course not. Seeing me hesitate, she added another condition, don't worry, I know you don't have much money right now, you can spend mine first, after all, my money is your money, just one thing, you must not reveal our identities to anyone, understand? The way she said it made it sound like that was the hard-earned money I had worked for all along. I finally nodded, okay, with money, everything becomes easier. Now my online image is not good, so I can no longer run an account that shows my face. I'm thinking of other ideas. My previous work has given me a wealth of experience, video production, directing, copywriting, and ad placement, all of which I can handle with ease. I'm confident I can build the account up. There's just one thing missing. A model to appear on camera. This model cannot be fixed, otherwise, even if the account belongs to me, the traffic will go to them. I've come up with a brilliant idea. With the theme of how to customize a vlog for a model, we can create completely different atmospheres and characteristics based on the persona and style of different models, showcasing everything from initial communication to post-production for the audience. Audiences nowadays love behind-the-scenes content like this, especially the kind where they can learn a little something but not too deeply. With money, you can naturally book any model you want. Julia was very generous the first time she gave me money, transferring me 1 million in one go and even telling me to ask for more if it wasn't enough. I naturally did as she wished. After the first video gained some traction, I continued to ask her for money. At that time, she still gave it, but she was a bit stingy. Spend it wisely. It's not easy to make money these days. I sneered inwardly and accepted the 1 million she transferred to me. After posting a few videos, the account had accumulated hundreds of thousands of followers, and some advertisers began to approach. Julia almost immediately caught the scent of opportunity. Faith, your account seems to be doing quite well now, even able to take on advertisements. No one visits the temple without a reason, so I asked her what she wanted. She hesitated and finally stated her purpose. She wanted me to teach her how to do self-media. After swapping bodies, this was our second meeting. She looked much older than last time, with exhaustion enveloping her entire being. Before, she always thought I could make money just by lying around, but that wasn't the case. With the company being so large, I was the one holding everything together. Many times, I was the last to leave work and the first to arrive, while chasing trends to shoot videos. I also thought about how to use new scenarios to promote products, while negotiating with clients to lower prices. I also think about how to use the latest technology to reduce costs. The growth and expansion of the company have all been achieved through my relentless efforts, time and time again. Even my unexpected rise to fame back then was no accident at all. Before releasing the video, I watched and edited it repeatedly to ensure that my positive and optimistic persona would resonate with people. All these responsibilities now fall on Julia. She doesn't want to do it, but the shareholders will force her to. Yet in her live streams, she either gets the product information wrong or yells at the staff, completely disregarding the most deeply ingrained image I had built, that no matter what happens, I would always be smiling. To bloom in the mud was the original intention of this account, and she has no understanding of it at all. Gradually, both video fans and live stream fans dropped off, and in just a few months, she nearly destroyed the account I had painstakingly built. Now, when you open the comments section, it's filled with nothing but insults. Learning self-media may sound simple, but it's actually quite difficult, especially for someone like Julia, who can't handle hardship. It's even harder. I just asked her to edit the third video, and she already got impatient. Why am I always editing videos? Can't you teach me something else? She's eager for quick results and wants to learn the fastest methods. Faith, just tell me directly what I should do in the live stream to win the audience's favor. Daydreaming. Back then, I had to practice even a smile in front of the camera several times, just to show my best state in the live stream. Now, she probably doesn't even want to smile once in the live stream. With that kind of attitude, how can you do it well? If you don't want to do it, you can simply hire a professional to do it for you. This is my sincere advice. If we let her continue like this, I'm afraid this account will really be ruined. After all, I created it with my own hands, and I hope it can have a good ending. But she seems to have misunderstood me. Faith, what do you mean by that? Looking down on me, you think you can do it, but I can't. It's just live streaming. What's so great about it? Just wait and see, I'll do it better than you. She rejected my proposal, and there's nothing I can do about it. After all, I still have my own career to focus on. Now, my account has accumulated a certain number of followers, but it's limited to just these fans. Without a breakthrough in style, this is the end of the road for this account. In my free time, I browse the internet for inspiration. Suddenly, a dilapidated earthen house comes into view, with a determined and impoverished young man holding a bowl to eat, his back proud and upright. I immediately understood where my limitations lay. Today's models are too polished. No matter how you customize a vlog, they always carry certain similar traits, which only attract a specific group of people. But what if I expanded the pool of models, not just the urban beauties in the city, but looking toward the mountains and the sea, people from all walks of life beckoning to me? The warmth of everyday life is what truly touches the heart. I said I would do it and immediately started the relevant planning. I also contacted that young man, inviting him to be the first guest for my new series. A young man, the land, a rainy night. The view count for the first video was not good, even worse than before. In contrast to my dismal performance, Julia, on the other hand, managed to build up her live streaming room. She established a new persona, a fiery-tempered older sister who doesn't hold back when she sees something she dislikes, speaks her mind, and focuses on not indulging others. The number of online users has returned to its previous scale, and brands have come knocking one after another. She came to my door specifically to mock me. Faith, what did I tell you? This was always an easy thing. Look at your latest video. Its views aren't even a fraction of mine. You put in so much effort, yet it still ends up the same. I only said one sentence to make her fly into a rage. Those who follow different paths do not make plans together. She trembled with anger. Fine, if you have the guts, don't ever ask me for money again. She finally revealed her true colors and completely cut ties with me. I ignored her and continued to develop the new series, Mountains, Rivers, and Fields. I have been on the road all along, enjoying the scenery while also observing people. Whenever I encounter someone interesting, I invite them to create a special feature. Finally, a year later, someone uploaded my videos to foreign platforms, where they garnered tens of millions of views. Although it presents the entire process of making a vlog, behind each vlog, there is a story. Only those who are attentive can truly appreciate this story. Oh my, this shot, this language. Is this not a master descending from the heavens? Actually, this creator used to film other series before, and those series had even higher view counts than the current one. However, the creator did not compromise for the sake of traffic and insisted on filming this series. I can see the creator's dedication. After gaining popularity overseas, people in my home country also noticed my videos and came to watch them out of curiosity. Check in. The filming is indeed very delicate. The visuals are so good. How come I've never seen this treasure blogger before? Woo woo. I want to know every person in the vlog. Please share the account IDs. All the videos I've ever filmed were dug up one by one, each reaching millions of likes, and my followers skyrocketed within a week, making me a top-tier influencer with tens of millions of fans. The people in my lens and I have together faced intense exposure. The young man from the first episode caught the attention of caring netizens, who funded his college education, so he no longer had to carry cement bags at such a young age. The girl planting trees in the desert from the second episode gained more companions, and an increasing number of people have joined the environmental cause, and the dozens of episodes that followed. The barbershop on the corner used to offer a cheap and skilled craft. The untouched scenic spots are welcoming more tourists. Advertisements swarmed in, and I returned to the peak, and at this moment, Julia came knocking again. Since I began traveling across the magnificent landscapes of our country and embarked on the journey to find models, I haven't seen her, but I know that, not long ago, something happened to her. Because of her unrestrained words, she offended the audience. What, you think this is too expensive? Then what's the point of living your life? If you can't afford this or that, why are you even staying in my live stream? Assistant, block him. Some even compared me to her. I show everyone the vibrant vitality of ordinary people, yet she says ordinary people's lives have no meaning. The difference is clear at a glance. She knelt on the ground, begging me, please help me, won't you help me? If you just speak a word for me, I can definitely get through this difficulty. Now, she has gone even further than she did back then. Back then, she was just putting on the persona of a fake heiress, which didn't involve her own rights and interests. So everyone just saw it as entertainment, but this time, she has directly targeted the public, offending a circle that is on a completely different scale from before. The account's followers are dropping rapidly, and while the live stream viewership has skyrocketed, no one is there to buy anything. They're all there to criticize her. I shook off her hand. I can't help you, she threatened me fiercely. Don't forget. If people find out you're the one running the account, you won't fare much better either. She threatened me with old grudges, but I cared the least about that. Then go ahead and expose it. I actually wished she would expose it. Seeing that her threats were ineffective, she pitifully begged me. When she realized I truly had no intention of helping her, she got up from the ground and said, "Fine, Faith, you remember this." Online public opinion spread quickly. By the time I woke up the next day, information about me had already spread all over the internet, but I was well prepared for this. I wrote a lengthy response. "Hello everyone, I used to be Julia, but I changed my name 2 years ago, and I am now Faith. Changing my name is not an attempt to distance myself from who I was back then. I know that I have always been myself, and no matter how my name changes, the mistakes I made are unforgivable. I just want to share with you my reflections over these years. The rumors circulating online are indeed true. 2 years ago, when I was lost, I placed my hopes in men, hoping to rely on them to escape my predicament. To this end, I fabricated a favorable background, deceiving everyone, including the person I was dating at the time. Here, I offer my deepest apologies to everyone. I don't want everyone to forgive me. Instead, I hope you can see me as a cautionary tale. If you pretend to be wealthy, you'll only attract people who are after your money. You hope they will save you, but they too are looking to exploit you. We should not place our fate in anyone else's hands. Strengthen yourself, wait for the right moment, and you can carve out your own world. A favorable wind lends its power, lifting me to the azure clouds. I have attached images of the donations I have been making over the past few years. Netizens thought I would defend myself or remain silent. But they never expected me to admit it. Openly admitting one's own mistakes and showcasing genuine efforts to change has won over a large number of onlookers. Julia's strategy has completely backfired. At the same time, I saw Julia's outcome online. She faced widespread backlash for her reckless remarks, and later, a series of controversial behaviors from her live streams were exposed. Account banned. Netizens expressed their sentiments. "Ah, I miss her from the early days. How did she change like this?" It's clear that greed has clouded her mind. She was such a sincere young girl back then. People change, after all. Take Julia, for example, who would have thought she would turn out better, and as for Faith, it seems she just took a turn for the worse. A year later, I won the platform's celebrity award thanks to my immense popularity. On stage, the host asked for my acceptance speech. I thought about it. The cicada perches on a branch, its fame spreading far and wide without relying on the autumn wind. The reason its song is so clear and resonant is that it has endured the 4 seasons, weathered storms and snow, endured darkness, and overcome pain. Every period of dormancy has meaning, and every wait is for the sake of being seen more clearly. No matter when, hold fast to your beliefs, for the light is just ahead. Let us encourage each other. After hearing the 2 stories above, what are your thoughts? Feel free to share your opinions in the comments section. Looking forward to hearing from you. If you liked this story, don't forget to like it, share it, and subscribe to my channel. See you next time.